Low. By Charles Hoyfort, Part 2, Chapter 21e. Our acceptance is that nations work together, or operate against one another functionally, or as guided by the murderous supervisions of a whole organism. Or, apologizing again, I call such organized slaughter supermetabolism. So enormous is the subject of human history, as affected by its partners in the whole, that I shall reserve it for treatment some other time. Monistically, though some other time I shall pluralistically take another view, as well. The acceptance is that human beings have not existed as individuals any more than have cells in an animal organism existences of their own. Still, one must consider that there is something of individuality, or contrariness in every cell. This view of submergence is now so widespread that it is expressed by writers in many fields of thought. But they lack the concept of a whole, trying to think of a social organism as a whole, though clearly every social quasi-organism has relations with other social quasi-organisms, and is dependent enormously, or vitally, upon environment. Other thinkers, or more than doubtful thinkers, say that they think of the unthinkable absolute as the whole. I have a notion that, for ages, as a factor in an automatic plan, the Australian part of our existence's nucleus, this Earth, was reserved. If this be not easy to think, it is equally hard to think why Australia, in its fertile parts, was not colonized by Asiatics. There was relative isolation, but it was not geographical isolation. The distance between Cape York, Australia, and New Guinea is only 100 miles. There was an approximation to isolation so extreme that one type of animal life grew up and prevailed. This gap was jumped by the marsupials of Australia. Then the question is, why, if not obediently to an inhibition, was it not jumped the other way? Of course we can have no absolute expressions, but just when the dingoes and the wild cattle of Queensland first arrived in Australia is still considered debatable.